What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is my third attempt at making this video. I spent like a lot of time updating my plan again, but only to update like one line. Like it's 98% the same, but just like wordsmithing it a lot. Um, I'll tell you the rule I added right off the bat. Very simple one. And it's only active during the first 1 hour. And it's to prevent me. I think it's a rule that can only help me. I don't think it can hurt me. But let me know in the comments if you can think of a situation where it would be bad. I can't think of one, really. So in the first 1 hour bar only. Okay. This was yesterday's trade, by the way. I had a loser yesterday and a winner yesterday. The winner was 3R. This was the winner. And then this was the loser. And today I just had two losers. And I'm kind of conflicted about this winner too because I like kind of violated my plan a little bit to get it. Like I didn't have my confirmation break. If I would have traded this the way my system called to trade it, I wouldn't be able to get in till below bar 42. Okay? Unless I'm allowed to like get in below the body. I think if the body closes below the previous 1 hour, maybe it's just the body part that I'm allowed to get in. Yeah, I'm not going to actually write that in my plan, but maybe that makes me feel better about this trade because the body of this closed below the previous 1 hour. And this was just such a nice setup on the 1 hour chart yesterday. Like it gapped down, it pulled right back to some bearish EMAs, consolidated there. We had a hammer down, and then just, yeah, it was great. Great trade for me. 3R. But anyway, I'm getting totally distracted, which is a little bit too normal for me. So I tried for a short here. Okay, and guess what? This short, bar 6, let's just look at the chart because it'll be easier to explain on the chart. Make this 5-minute bigger. Bar 6, okay, it was below, we were below the previous 1 hour bar. The EMAs were bearish. They just switched bearish. Naturally, there'd be a retest reclaim of those EMAs and before we get our second big move down, which was largely influenced by news. I think it still would have gone down, but like I was just expecting it to like go down to the at most like the low of the day, not this, but that's what news can do for a trade. But anyway, I keep getting very distracted. I just want to make this point. So this trade was allowed because I had my EMAs. My trading plan now, it's super simple. Just I need 2 for 2 confluence. I need to be either above or below the previous 1 hour bar, and I need to have EMAs on the 1 hour supporting. EMAs were supporting on the 1 hour. I was below the previous 1 hour bar, but this is a bad. And I got short on bar after bar 5 for the signal bar, or was it bar 6? Let's go back to the picture. Oh, after bar 6, yeah. So I waited for bar 6. I hammered down, good signal bar. But the problem is, look how much air is here. A lot of air there, you know, a lot of air, a lot of space. Makes sense that the gap would try to be filled. It was ultimately filled, actually. So I bet there were some bulls yesterday that were pretty happy because that was a 35-point move. Pretty good move here. I'm not allowed to capture it because of my system, and I tried for a short, but I shouldn't have, because guess what? For the first 1 hour, my new rule is, in this active rules rules for the first 1 hour bar only. First hour bar only. I'll just say for the first hour bar only. There's an exception, or the opening level. No shorts above or longs below. Okay? So I wouldn't have been able to take this short because it's the first 1 hour. The market is determining what kind of day it is. It's a lot of volatility, especially after a gap. And just need to, not fight that opening level, the first move. We just don't want to fight that. So, okay. Oh, and then I think I explained this exception already because that's been in my plan, but days like this right here, and like this right here, and like this right here, but especially this middle one and the one on the right, or not the one on the right, sorry, especially this middle one here. EMAs are very bullish. Okay, we gap way down. I want to be able to get long here despite being below this 1 hour bar right here. Okay, because it makes sense. The EMAs are bearish. We gapped down. It makes sense this gap would try and close. This is a 65-point move from the open to the close, and then went even up higher quite a bit. So, 75-point move from the bottom to the top, or roughly 75-point move. And that's why I have an exception that in the first 1 hour bar, I want to be able to get long if the EMAs say to get long and we gap down. And if the market's bearish and we gap up, I want to be able to get short in the first 1 hour. And we had double confirmation here because we did have a close, above the previous 1 hour bar, so we could have got long. But yeah, these rules are only active for the first 1 hour. And I just think the first 1 hour, it's such a unique time in the trading day. There's by far... it's the most volatility, and the best trades happen in the first 90 minutes, first 30 minutes, first 60 minutes. So these exceptions for the first 1 hour, those are what are going to help me. So, yeah, I'm still changing my plan. If you don't like it, go watch Andrew Aziz or something. And no hate to Andrew Aziz. But I would love to hike with Andrew Aziz. I'm getting off topic. Okay. So, I just spent a lot of time talking about this loss. Let's talk about this win now. Why do I feel conflicted about this win? I kind of talked about it a little bit already, but because technically this bar... the way I entered this was kind of funky. Like this bar 42, it was the last 5-minute bar of this 1 hour bit here, right here. This is the last 5-minute bar. Slammed it down, okay? And then I'm like, okay, great. Like I hope this bar, we just get like a small candle down, like a hammer down, and that way I can get short below the previous 1 hour bar, right? Or maybe... Yeah. So, and by the way, Susan, because I know you're watching, or I think you're probably watching, I have a question for you. Susan is my mentor, everybody. When I say, like, I shouldn't get short below the previous... Or I shouldn't get short inside the previous 1 hour bar. I have to wait for it to... You know what? I'm not going to ask you this question, actually. Never mind. I'm changing my mind. I'm not going to ask you. I guess I'm just like... never mind. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I've been going down too many rabbit holes today. It's why this is my third time making this video. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole and spend a bunch of time. But I got short on this trade, I didn't have a confirmation break. Okay, and that's what I feel weird about is I didn't have a confirmation break. We broke this bar 43, the first bar of this 1 hour bar. It pushed down. It opened and it stayed here for a little bit, and I'm like, great, it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to consolidate, and I'll be able to short it. And then it pushed down like far, like all the way down. I'm like, fuck, it's going without me. I'm going to miss a great move down. Because this hourly setup just looked so nice. I was so happy and excited to see that. I didn't want to miss out. So it pushes down, the 5 minute does. And then it comes back to bar 42, and I'm like, okay, I want to get in here because I don't want it to go down without me again. It broke, it came back up, kind of like a retest, a break and retest, and then it pushes back down. This is like a small version of this, really. This move here and this move here that's contained within bar 43, exact same move, just one plays out over 5 to 6 hours and one plays out over less than 5 minutes, or exactly 5 minutes. So this pushes down, then it pushes up, and I get in before the bar closes, and I just put my stop loss like above the 9 EMA. Okay. Yeah. I think that's where it was. And luckily, it comes back a little bit, but it doesn't break the high of this bar. And then it goes my way, and I get a nice 3R trade. So that's why I'm conflicted about that trade. Because it was a good winner, but I kind of violated my rules. I kind of didn't have confirmation break. So that stinks on me. Yeah. But unless we're talking about if I could have got short, if like I treat this bar as just the break of the body of the candle, because the problem is to like trade this the way my plan calls for, I'm not allowed to get short until we break below bar 42. Unless we are talking about like the bar of the candle and I'm allowed to get short before that, but I have always viewed candles as just a single entity, the wick and the body of the candle, and technically I'm not allowed to get short until I get a confirmation break below, according to my plan. So that's where I feel kind of guilty and bad, but I don't know. I made money off of it. I had a 3R trade. It was a good trade. So I feel kind of conflicted. So, okay, I spent a lot of time talking about yesterday. Yapped a lot. Let's talk about today. I lost like 2 trades, lost like 1.5R. First loss was just a really stupid loss. First of all, I bought like way below the candle break. I should have, if I was going to get short off this candle, I should have gotten short off the low of the candle, not after. But I had FOMO. I was like, I don't want this move to make the move without me. But even more egregious and bad than getting short below this candle, because sometimes you have to join late, is going up to the 1 hour. This trade right here, I was still inside the previous 1 hour bar. There was like the break below of this candle is like 7 points away, 7.5 points away from the low of the previous 1 hour bar. So at least with yesterday's trade, it's like this bar closed at least with yesterday's short trade, like this bar closed like, well, this bar did close at the low of the previous 1 hour bar. Maybe the solution is I just shouldn't have confirmation breaks anymore. Maybe the solution is I can buy the close, and it's just the bar that gets me in is the bar that gets me out. doesn't require. Ugh. Oh, I'm editing my plan. I didn't want to do this in this video. Gosh, I'm editing my plan. Okay, just skip this part. Just skip this part if you don't like it. I'm not going to make another video. I'm not going to make another video. Yeah, I'm not going to make another video. Gosh, I'm changing my rules to make it easier. I'm doing something that I probably shouldn't do, but I'm making it so that I'm allowed to buy the close on trades and I don't always need a confirmation break. Because this bar here, this hammer up bar, okay, it closes below the previous 1 hour bar. Okay? And it would allow me to get in here with a stop loss above this candle because the bar that gets you in is still the bar that gets you out. It would allow me to get in here, stop loss above this candle, and I wouldn't have to miss out on these 7 points and wait for a confirmation break, okay? And it's only for the very best signals that I'm allowing this, and it probably might come back to hurt me, but I'm still a noob trader. I mean, I'm 3.5 years in, but I'm still finding what the type of trader I want to be. I'm still finding my profitability, my system, developing it. So I might regret this. But we'll see. Oh man, why is it moving that as a group? Sometimes Word, I just do not understand it. I just don't. Let me just... Nice, okay. Okay, so trades must have 2 out of 2. Nice. That's kind of good formatting. I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that. No, I gotta have another thing. What should I make it? I'll make it a dot. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. There we go. That's formatted pretty nicely. Okay, so 1 hour time frame. The time frame for finding trades. 5-minute time frame. The time frame for finding entries. I have other. All right, my plan. It's looking pretty. It's looking pretty. I. What I just did, like this pausing and editing, I did that for like. I made like a 20-minute video, and then I just got sucked into this like can of worms where I just edited for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I can't upload this, so I started over. That was the second attempt too, so I just did it again on the third attempt, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna end again. Sorry, I gotta respond to this text. I know it's not good for making a video, but someone's offering to pick up my dinner. So sure. Sorry about that, but I had to respond. I actually said I did not want dinner because I'm on a diet. It's called the slow carb diet, and I've lost like 10 pounds in the past month, and it feels pretty good. It's like you only are allowed to eat legumes, so I just pretty much only eat beans that I make in my Instapot. It takes like 75 minutes to make them from dry. And then I eat protein, so I like eat ground beef and like chicken thighs or marinated chicken breasts or something like that. And then vegetables. So I'm pretty happy about it. Like I've been losing some weight, getting in better shape, and I like it. And lost about 10 pounds, probably want to lose like another 10, 15. But hey, it's going good. But this is a trading channel. You're not here to hear me talk about fitness. I don't even think I've reviewed today's price action yet, have I? I think I did. I reviewed the first trade, which, yeah, I explained why this was a super bad trade. That was just dumb. Last trade, I spent so much time in my second recording talking about this. And I think what I just have to accept is like, well, I made a slight mistake. I thought I was getting in. I thought this bar 42 was like the first bar of the next hour, but it was really the last bar of this 1 hour. I don't know how I missed that, but yeah, I should have waited for bar 43 to enter, because that's a bar that closes below the previous hour, right? After some consolidation, it's like, oh, are we going to break for another move down? Should have waited for bar 43 to get short. I didn't. But the result would have been the same. Both would have lost. I lost 1R. Not a big deal. You know, I think I just have to accept that my plan will generate some losers. That's okay. Every plan does. And there's not, so I'm happy. This is a good loss, I guess. You know, despite I accidentally entered on the wrong bar, but it wasn't like I was emotional and made a bad decision like this one where I just didn't want to miss. I didn't want to miss out. So those are the 4 trades. Over the last 2 days, we're up $65 or 0.65 R, but that does not account for fees. With fees, 4980.90. So let's enter this into my whole day data. 4980. What was it? 4980.90.9. So let's check it. I'm only up 0.49 R over the last 2 days. And since Sunday, today's Thursday night, I'm up 0.4. Wow, really? Wow. I'm up still 0.48 R. Because I went up Sunday and Monday, I made 1 R. But then Tuesday, I lost 2.44 R. And a lot of the I made corrections to my plan that would have prevented those from being losers. And then yesterday I had that good trade, but I had that bad trade to start, which now I wouldn't take that trade anymore. And then today I lost 1.63, but only one of those should have been a loss. So if I change this plan, and if I were to replay this week and not have the mental error I had today, not had the extra loss I had that I would not have anymore because I changed my plan on Tuesday, and not had that first loss yesterday because I changed my plan to have that opening level rule, I'd be up 3 extra R. So it'd be up 3.5 R on the week. So I would have tomorrow to get to my goal of 5 R a week. I would have to make 1.5 R tomorrow. I'm not going to hit my goal of 5 R a week this week because I don't think I will. I'd have to make 4.5 R tomorrow, which would be a crazy day, and that's just not very likely. But yeah, you know, it's my first. I'm tweaking a lot still, changing a lot of things, but this is how I develop and grow as a trader, as a human being. You know, I've got a lot of. I'm going to get there eventually. I know I will. I'm just going to stay persistent. I'm never going to give up. And that's how I roll. So, yeah, that's what's up, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. Sorry I kind of talked a lot, but not sorry. It's part of my journey. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but go watch Andrew Aziz or of someone who's a better trader than me. Lance Brightstein. This is just a fun YouTube hobby project for me, and one day I'm gonna have the biggest trading YouTube channel of all. I'm gonna have 20 million subscribers. No, I'm kidding about that too. All I want to do is just be able to point to my journey when I am profitable, when I am giving good advice, and say, look, I went through all the struggles too, and they're all recorded. So that's what the goal of the channel is. Please like and subscribe. Forgot to say that at the start of the video. Please comment because it helps the YouTube algorithm. And I know this was a long one, but I feel pretty good about the rules we implemented today. I feel pretty good. It's going to be a good week. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Peace.